What's going on, guys, and welcome on into this video diving into Webull options trading. We're going to be diving into how to trade options on the Webull platform here in this video. So if you are brand new to options, the first thing that I do want to do is that we're going to be going through some examples. So you're going to be able to see this live, how it works, putting in the orders, buying, selling, all that good stuff. We'll talk about how things work. We'll talk about some other stuff, some strategies, and the different tools that the Webull platform has to offer. But at the end of the video, if you need more of a background, there is a video that I already put out on my personal channel. That is this channel right here on the screen, Thomas Carvo. This is TC Trading, the Thomas Carvo channel. This channel, we have a video recently going over a complete guide to options for beginners. I'm going to cover a couple key points from that video, but I want to make this video much more focused on the platform of Webull. So if you already have options experience, fast forward a bit so we can talk about what's going on, how it works, how to put the orders in. But really quick, what are options? Options are essentially you getting the right to buy or sell 100 shares at a specified price by a specified date. Okay, the specified price is the strike price and the date is the expiration date. You'll buy calls or puts. You could sell calls, you can sell puts as well, but most people focus on buying calls. They think the stock is going to go up, you buy a call. You think a stock is going to go down, you buy a put. And if it goes your way, you generally make money, but that doesn't always mean you will, because you could buy a call that is out of the money, okay? And if you buy an out of the money call, well, what's going to happen? Well, if the stock goes up, great, you're moving in the right direction, but if you still expire out of the money by the expiration date, it's still worth zero. So even if you pick the right direction, you could still lose money. You just need to make sure you're aware of in the money versus out of the money, which we'll cover really quickly here in this video. So first, let's talk strike price and expiration date. So strike price is one of the key identifiers. You'll hear it very, very commonly. I'm going to buy the $100 strike price calls. That's kind of a label for an option price. Let's say on Apple, I want to buy the 100 calls. I want to buy the 100 puts, okay? And then on top of that, you'll also use the expiration date to classify that option. I'm going to buy the 100 calls out to next week. I'm going to buy the 100 calls out to January of 2024, right? You can kind of pick different time frames, and that's how you'll classify what contract you're looking at. So to essentially understand what contract you're talking about, you need the strike price and you need the expiration date, because there's a ton of different options that expire the same day, and there's a ton of different options that'll have the same strike but expire on different dates. So you need to have those two things before you start talking about options, because you'll confuse somebody and there will be differences in the prices, okay? So diving a little bit deeper, in the money versus out of the money, calls, okay? A call is in the money if a stock price is above the strike price, and out of the money in terms of calls if the stock price is below the strike price. Now on the put side, if a stock price is below the strike, you're in the money, and out of the money if the stock price is above the strike on the put side. Now, real quick on intrinsic versus extrinsic value, okay? So intrinsic value is essentially how much a stock is in the money. What is the actual value relative to the strike? So like we talked about just a second ago, calls and puts, that's the intrinsic value, okay? It's the difference essentially between how far in the money, how many dollars or how many cents in the money versus that strike price. That's your intrinsic value of that option. Extrinsic value, that's the difference between the option price, the premium you'll pay, and the intrinsic value, okay? Now this will factor in things like the time, volatility, other variables. Now, you could have a stock that is, or a strike price or an option contract that is out of the money, but it still has value. Why is that? Because it could have some time. There could be a very volatile stock, so it has a chance of expiring in the money, so it has a chance to expire with value by the expiration, and there could be other factors at play there. Now, in terms of what it's going to cost you to buy one contract, okay, or buy a contract or buy options, you take the option premium, what the option says it is currently going for, trading for, okay? You times that by the number of contracts, and then you times that all by 100, and that's how much it's going to cost you out of pocket. So if, let's say, we have an option that is trading at $1 per contract, it's going to cost you $100 per one contract that you want to buy. So really quick, we're going to dive into the platform in 1 second, but people like to trade options because they give you leverage. Now, you can make more money with less money, okay? That's the whole name of the game with options. But there are some different things you could do. You can also make money with things like spreads, or you can make money even if stocks stay in a specified range, depending upon your options trading strategy. That's something to also make sure you're aware of when it comes to trading options. So now here we go. We are on the Webull platform. We are looking at Apple here towards the end of the day. Let's say that I wanted to trade Apple options. First off, there are already videos on this channel and over on my other channel, Thomas Carvo. If you guys want to learn how to create a customized Webull layout, look it up on YouTube or look it up on our channels. This is the layout that I'm going to be using. We have in the top or on the chart, I have a couple options, okay, in terms of an options widget and an order entry widget. We'll dive into that in a second here when it comes to the options we're talking about, but that will be the options widget that you need to make sure you have on your platform. Okay, it's up in the top right under the add widgets little toolbox. You'll open that up and you'll pull up the options trading widget. Okay, so now I'm going to have this zoomed in so you guys can see this as best as possible, because I know my screen is a bit large and it may kind of be a little bit off in terms of the size when you're looking at things. It could be small, okay? So here we go. Now you'll see the shading of in the money will be by the blue or the lighter background behind the kind of options, or the quad box here, the option chain. I can go up here and I can select a lot of different things. So I'm looking at single options, which is what I want to start with. Obviously, there's tons of options trading strategies that you can also find linked in the options playlist here on this channel. If you want to learn more about these different strategies, I would highly recommend you check out that playlist and dive deeper into some of those videos. So I can do that there. There's also this right here, which will give me a list of strikes. I can change the strike price or the strikes shown to 10, 6, 20, 30. I'm going to look at 30 so I can kind of get a big picture view of a bunch of strikes on my screen, okay? I currently have it selected to both, but if I want to just look at calls, I can now have just calls showing up, and I can also have it selected to puts, where I can just see puts showing up. You will see across the top, you will see things like gamma, delta, open interest, implied volatility, mid, percent change, last, ask, and bid. The bid and the ask is just like a stock, okay? Buyers at the bid, sellers at the ask, and you looking to kind of compete to get in and buy your contracts. If you want to learn more about gamma, you want to learn more about theta, delta, all of those things, the Greeks as we call them, there's already a Greeks playlist on this channel. Definitely check out that playlist here after the video. So let's say that I think Apple is going to go up into the close. I want to be focused on calls. So I'm going to go to just calls only, and I'm going to be looking right here. Let us say that I'm looking at these 175 calls that are out of the money by a couple of dollars as we speak right now, because across the middle we can see that Apple is trading at 172.95 or so. It's also up in the top right under my quote, but I want to buy these. I'm going to click on this, or I can double click, or I can right click and click on control buy. So I'm going to go right here, control buy, click on buy, and boom. Now I'm going to be put to the order entry widget. If this is not already kind of showing up the way that it's showing up for me, it may show up like this on your screen. All I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it up, and I'm going to put it in the same kind of category that I have my options and charting widgets. Okay, I'm just going to overlay that on there so I can kind of go back and forth and pull it up. Now, here we go. I'm currently looking at my order entry widget. Okay, here is one way to go ahead and do this. I don't necessarily have to do it this way, but I'm going to do this as an example. So again, your strategy is single option if you're just looking to buy a call or a put. Apple 175. Here's your strike price. 175 is what I'm using. I have the expiration date. This is set to the end of this week. I have to make sure I understand that before I jump in. I have it set to call. If I want to change it to a put, I can go ahead and do that. Buy or sell. In this case, I am going to buy. I'm going to open up a long position on these calls. I can change my quantity to just one contract, and then I, of course, can set a limit order or a market order. In this case, I could go ahead with a market order, and it's going to fill me between the bid and the ask right away. I'm going to get right in. So if I want to do that, that's great. Or I can go to a limit order, and if I do a limit order, I can set the exact limit price that I want to pay, no more than, and I know exactly where I'm going to get filled right away. If stocks are moving really fast towards the end of the day, right, which we're looking at right now, it might make sense to go with a market order so I can get right in. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to a time and force as day, or I can put a good till cancel, which means that this is going to get canceled when I cancel it, and it could, maybe if it doesn't fill today, it'll fill tomorrow or the next day. Day means by the end of the trading day today, it is going to stop. It's going to expire. If I got filled, I'm in. If I didn't, I didn't. That's it. So right now I'm going to click on a 90-cent limit. I'm going to click on place order, and I am going to get filled. Boom, just like that, I'm filled. Now, what I want to do is I want to get out of this position. If I go over to my positions tab right here, I will see Apple showing up. I can click on that, double click that. Now this is going to show me a chart for the option premium, okay? You can also go to your account and you'll find your option right here in your account. Click on the three dots and you can go ahead and close your position just like that. I like to use this where I have it under my watch list, under my positions, and then I can go into the actual chart for the option value and trade that just like a stock, okay? So now On my trading widget right here, I have the option that I'm looking at pulled up. I have the chart pulled up. I paid 89 cents for this option. So I'm going to click on sell. I'm going to go to quantity 1, and I'm going to set this to 91 cents. If I can get this at 91, I want to sell it. I want to make some money on this, okay? I'm going to click on sell, and let's see if it fills within the next couple of minutes. We have about 1 minute or so left until the market close, so if this fills, I'll make a couple bucks. Awesome for this example, but again, not necessarily required. And then after this, I want to dive into the other features you have that Webull has to offer so we can get a really good feel for how this stuff works and the other things we can look at when it comes to trading options on the Webull platform and not just looking at things on a very quick and not looking just fast paced. We got filled, boom, just like that. I made like $2 on that, which is awesome, cool. That's pretty much how it goes, okay? It gets filled just like any other stock, but now we want to dive a little bit deeper. So I want to talk about this right here. What are we looking at on the screen? What we're looking at right now on the screen is we are looking at the option of interest, okay? So this is showing us the Apple 175 December 23rd, 2021 calls, okay? That's this chart. That's what everything's pulling up, okay? It's not showing us just Apple. It's not showing us something random. It is literally showing us exactly what it says up here on the top on the quote. The reason why I want to show you this is because many people don't even realize this is available with the Webull platform. You can get a sense for how the option has traded throughout the day. You can also get a sense for the different order types available. You have a limit order, a market order, a stop order, and a stop limit. We actually have a video going over and explaining the entire process of how to utilize a stop loss order on Webull. So we're not going to use that when it comes to options. So we're not going to show you that how to do that here in this video because it is straightforward, and we also have a video already dedicated to that on the channel. It's pretty quick and pretty easy to find. But I want to take it a step back. I want to go back to the options chain. Okay, if you want to get to the page that I was just looking at, so to get to this page without having to actually have bought the option already, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on one of the different selections. Let's say I want to look at the 190 calls, or let's say I want to look at the 160 calls. I'm going to double click over to the right hand side of the 160s, and just like that, now over on the trading widget and up on my quote, I have it showing up as 160s. Now, why is that? It's because what I have selected here is I have them all set to group 1. So I have my different widgets all grouped the exact same way. It's something that you almost need to know how to do. And all you're going to have to do is when you click on set as group up in the top of any widget, I can make sure that all of my widgets are set to the exact same group so that when I change the stock or the option or whatever I'm looking at on one widget, one screen, it'll change across all the other widgets, okay? So that's how that works. Otherwise, you'll have to go over to your position list once you already buy, and then from there, you can go ahead and check on your options. So for example, I have these pen options that are the $50 strike. If I click on those, it'll now show me the pen options that I currently have at the $50 strike price, and it will show me a chart over the past whatever time frame I want to look at. For example, I'm looking at the 1 hour chart right now. It'll show me the time frame or the chart for these options, how they have been kind of pushing down over the recent weeks. That's one little hack. That's one little key to the option chain or to the options side of Webull. Now I want to go back to Apple. Make sure I type in Apple. Make sure I'm over on the Apple option chain right here. Okay, I'm back to Apple. Let's dive a little bit deeper. Okay, so let's say I want to go back to those 175s we were talking about before. I'm going to double click on those. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the order entry. Okay, so I'm going to I can even right click or I can control click and click on buy. Now it'll take me to the order entry. So we just walk through how you can utilize this order entry and what this stuff means. Now there's a feature in the bottom left called the graph. Huge and major key. Take a look. If you click on graph, this is going to pretty much outline exactly what you need to know when it comes to the option contract you're buying, and it's going to tell you what price point the stock needs to go to for you to make money and break even by the expiration date, okay? By the expiration date. Understand that, okay? So we're looking at these 175s. It's telling us that based on the price point that these are at, for me to break even, there's a little arrow at the bottom, Apple needs to get to 175.89 by the expiration date for me to break even and be able to sell for the same price I bought at. Okay, you guys can see that if it's below 175, the stock price is below 175, I'm going to lose the entire investment. In this case, for 10 contracts, $890. And it'll show you that depending upon what price Apple gets to, let's say it goes to 178. Well, if it gets to 178, I'm going to make $2,000 if I'm holding my entire position at the expiration date going into that, right? So that's what it's showing you. We showed you how to buy. We then showed you how to sell. You can utilize a couple of different features. Again, I want to go back to the main account page. Let's say I want to go back here and I want to sell, let's say, my pen options we looked at before. I find the pen options right here in the middle of my screen. I'm going to click on the three dots right here and I'm going to go to close position, okay? If I say I want to close by a market or limit, I click on which one I want to do. I want to close by a limit order. And then just like that, it can close it out for me. However, what I can also do is I can go and do different things. I can view the details of the trade. I can create a new order, for example. If I want to create a new order on these pen options, it'll pull the same exact options I have up. And I can go ahead and create a new order, or I can go in here and edit it and sell one of the contracts that I currently already have, set my limit price and all that good stuff. That's one of those things you do have at your disposal, so make sure you take advantage of that if you need to. Personally, what I like to do is I like to go over to, let's say, my main trading layout, which we have some tutorial videos already going over at Webull's customized layout, the desktop platform, all that stuff. I like to have under my watch list kind of tab, my widget, right? There's a section that says my positions. I like to pull up my positions and I can go through my positions right there and find the options and find whatever I want to do on those positions, and it makes it so much easier because then I can just trade them just like I would trade a normal stock, and I have the same features, and I can utilize my classic trade widget right here to go ahead and do everything that I want to do right there, right in front of me. So if you have any more questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I can make a future video going deeper into some of the questions, or I can answer them hopefully in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. All we ask is to hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing. This platform again is Webull. You can get up to 5 free stocks when you sign up and deposit any amount. Link to that will be down below in the video pinned comment and description box. If you haven't signed up already, definitely go ahead and do it so you can follow along. Or if you need to recommend to a friend, send it out to a friend. Do whatever you want to do. Hopefully this video was helpful for those who are looking to get started with Webull. And again, I also have that video diving deeper into options trading for beginners. That video is over on my main personal channel, Thomas Carvo. Okay, back in here, this is the channel right here. Head over to that channel. It's also linked in the description box down below, and you'll be able to find that options trading for beginners video, which I want to say is like roughly 30 minutes, but it covers pretty much everything you need to know if you are getting started with options trading. Thank you guys so much, like always, and we'll see you in a future video. Peace.